Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. I'm Terissa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It is our pleasure, our honor to facilitate this event. We're now doing it every third Tuesday of the month. I love doing it on Tuesday morning, right?
Yes.
And it's accommodating all of our schedules perfectly. Hopefully it'll accommodate yours. It is free. It's open to the public. It's sponsored by our good friends at Mid-Florida Credit Union. But we have coffee and Danish. We're right here at City Hall, although it looks like I'm outside.
Maybe I know, it's beautiful.
Maybe at the port, the new port, but we're actually in City Hall, and we'd love for you to come down and join us. Please welcome from our sponsor, Mid-Florida Credit Union, Melyn Joseph. You've seen her here many times.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Melyn. Nice to see you as always.
Pleasure to be here.
How's everything going at Mid-Florida? Are you talking about your big gala that you had?
Big gala, and again, of course, Mid-Florida is a huge sponsor of the event, but Mid-Florida is doing good, and we're thriving in the community, growing as always.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the sky's the limit now.
I feel like I run into more and more people every day when I go into the Mid-Florida Credit Union. We've got our Mid-Florida Event Center. There was a great concert there last week.
Oh, yes.
Little River Band was out.
Huge.
And so you're just so involved in the community, and we appreciate that
And that's the core of our being, especially starting from a teacher's credit union.
Yeah.
You know, what more way to start to engage but through the future of our youth. So
it started in a shoebox at somebody's house,
yes.
And it was for teachers in Lakeland, Florida, sleepy little Lakeland, and now you've grown into this big powerhouse credit union.
Yes.
Throughout Florida and Georgia, I think, right now, right?
We're slowly climbing into Georgia,
Yeah.
but we're in Florida.
I hope I didn't jinx it.
Hey, maybe you might be speaking it into existence.
There you go. So Sharita's not mad at us for that? Good. Because she's in our audience today monitoring everything we say. So.
Yes, behave. No, we're doing good. We are a community-based credit union, so as long as you live, work, worship, go to school in the area, in the community, you can be a member with us because we're all about the community. You just have to take some part, play a role somewhere.
So in the past, there were always community banks, and I feel like credit unions have kind of taken over that quite a bit.
Yes.
During the recession, we saw our smaller community banks get gobbled up, but credit unions sort of function in that space, and even better because they're a nonprofit, so all dividends go back into investment.
Yes, right back. And as members, you have a say-so where you want those dividends and how do you want the rates to fluctuate, whether it's your liquidity products, your savings and CDs, or you want your lower rates in home equities or auto loans, you know, things like that.
We get to vote.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest and say I've never voted, and I need to do that.
You need to do
I have loans with you. I have savings accounts with you.
Yes. You get to go tell them.
I think I should do a better job of making my voice heard. But you have the holiday club still?
We have the holiday club still, yes, and that's a very unique product, especially for, you're thinking about the holidays, all kinds of things happen during the year, so you get to put a little money stashed away, so when the holidays do roll around, you have something. You don't have to scratch your head or anything, the money's already there.
Yeah, and it's a decent, you know, it's a really nice interest
rate. It's a nice rate, yes.
Yeah.
It's a little higher than the other products.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then you have really nice auto loans.
Yes.
And always trying to get people to understand you don't have to go with what they sell you at the dealership. No. You can have your loan in place before you get there.
Before you go, and we try our hardest to get our members to understand that because you can literally map out your payment by coming to us and saying this is what you want, and then we work it out, you know, to make sure you're approved so you don't go in there and fall in love with a Corvette and find out, you know, the payment is $1,000.
So, and here's a little tip for that too. It's nice if you have outside funding because you get a true price for a car.
Yes.
When you go in and you don't have outside funding, they're like, well, tell us what you want to pay.
Yes.
And then you end up paying whatever fits
what they want.
Yeah. So if you have outside funding, you can say, well, how much is the car? And they might actually answer that question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go prepared. Be prepared. Always be prepared.
Very good.
And we do our best to get you there as our member. After all, we work for you. So that's our job.
Very good. Home prime is you know, squeaking up there a tiny bit.
Yes, it is. So looking to see our liquid products to go up a little.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit.
That's okay. And what else? So how many branches in St. Lucie County? We'll start with Port St. Lucie because we're,
I know, right?
Yeah, you learned that with the old mayor.
Yes.
It's like you
I know, right? I always say when we're together with Mid-Florida that I managed the original PSL branch.
There you go.
But we are on the outskirts, so we are on US 1, which makes us part of the county. But in Port St. Lucie, there's our 2 branches, which is on Gatlin and then on St. Lucie West, corner of Cashmere. But in total, we have 6 branches in our region here, which Sharita manages.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so very exciting. Yeah.
Well, great product. Let's give the credit. You can sign up online, I think,
You
right?
can sign up online, walk into one of our branches. You can call over the phone. I mean, we make it very, very easy to become a member.
Yeah.
Yes, because we know time is of the essence. We're all ripping and running, so we make it very comfortable and convenient for you.
All right. Well, I want to appreciate all of
Yes.
you. I know how hard. When you are really with a small credit union with a small base, I feel like your employees work so hard
Yes.
because you're
We
involved in
appreciate
so
them.
much stuff, including the Haitian Chamber of Commerce,
Yes,
Haitian American
yes.
Chamber of Commerce. The big gala was this weekend.
Yes.
And so involved in us and Boys and Girls Club and all of the clubs you guys are represented.
Because it pieces us together. You know, the different compartments, the different groups. We're all working towards the same goal.
And I can say it pays off for you probably. In this town, we tend to want to do business with the people we know.
Yes.
And I know because you guys came in and were so generous to the community, and I felt I have a loan with you now,
I
and
know.
so that's kind of how it works.
Yes. You tell me, I tell you, and we get going.
Yeah, that's it. Grassroots.
Yes,
Still
that's
like
it.
Well, thank you, Melyn, for being with us, and Sharita, and a big thanks to Mid-Florida Credit Union as
Absolutely.
always. And we are going to be right back with the mayor of this beautiful city of Port St. Lucie, Shannon Martin. Welcome back to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. I am Terissa Aronson, and I'm here with none other than the mayor of this beautiful city of Port St. Lucie. And of course, that is Shannon Martin.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Okay.
I'm loving this new background you picked out.
Isn't it great? Nature.
I feel like I should be swatting away, flies and mosquitoes, but it really does look pretty real on camera, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm all about the nature and
I love it.
beautiful parks. So
And what park is this? Do you know?
is it Woodland? Is it Woodland Trails or is it Woodstock Trail? Woodstock Trail.
Where's Woodstock Trail?
Out east here
Oh,
by the hospital.
oh, very nice. Well, it is beautiful. I love it. And you can see it in person,
Absolutely.
right by the hospital. That's off of Linmore, right? Or Savannah?
No, Hillmore.
Hillmore. Okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, very good.
Yeah.
Did you all get that? Did you follow the train in my head that took us to the park? Okay, I got it. Very good. So what's going on in the city today?
So many things are going on. We had a almost, 5-hour council meeting yesterday. But the great news about yesterday was that we approved finally our interlocal agreement with the county with regard to mobility, city mobility, and county road impact fees.
Yay. All right, listen, you all should be cheering. You should be standing up doing the wave because that was a long, hard.
It was a long, hard haul. Everyone was involved, our entire community. But we finally came together. No one ever gets everything that they want, but we really, really all worked very hard, and I think it created a win-win.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to all of you.
Yeah, and also the best part about it is, as far as our development community is concerned, we did in fact lower our impact / mobility fees.
Yes.
On either side. So
I know. I could go down the rabbit hole of impact fees with you because I've been living it for 3 years, but I will not bore you with the details. But it was very contentious at points. It was very far away from one another at points. And I wasn't sure we were ever going to get there without, interference, and we did it. And I think that's the biggest thing to be proud of, is that we've come to an agreement, and it has not had to go to
court.
Yeah, legal decision is what you want to avoid.
Absolutely.
Nobody wins.
No, nobody wins. So,
Yeah.
so I'm very happy about that. Hopefully it'll set the tone for even better partnership with the county going forward. We still have our parks impact fee to work on, but I really think that we're going to get there as well. in the not too distant future.
There's precedent here. There's a more of a desire, I think, to work together
Sure.
and just get it behind us, which is good. And so I'm very happy about that. And I also want to thank both the commission and, of course, the council, because I know that this was something you had been. Listen, the former mayor started talking to me about this about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's how long I've been living impact fees. And I tried to avoid it at every turn and was not successful in avoidance.
Right.
So I hopefully never have to read another impact study again.
Yeah, they're not fun.
Please
They're
don't
definitely
make
not
me.
fun. They're hard to understand as well, so.
Yes.
You know, so it's definitely a change, and so as with everything in life, no matter what it is, when you have long-term agreements or when you, whatever, change is hard.
Yeah.
And so, but you have to adapt to what's happening now and have to be able to plan for the future properly. And you can only do that if you have the best possible agreements in place for the benefit of both parties.
It does. Actually, I was just talking to somebody at our state level about mobility and impact fees yesterday. And so the city's going to move through with mobility fees, which opens up some avenues for transportation.
Absolutely.
So there might be some unique ways to get around the city. There might be some additional ways. And then the county's going to stick with impact fees, which is strictly capacity. Yeah, yeah. And basically, you guys are capacity too, but it's capacity in different areas.
Yep.
And so we're excited about that. And you each get to do what you had intended to do. I want to say that it's totally done, but I don't think it is completely, because I think that there still could be some movement. But we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
I'm just going to say publicly, I'm not crazy about the service boundaries. But it passed,
Hey,
and we're getting there.
There is 10 times better than
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of focus on completing Midway Road, which is very important for all of us.
So important.
So I was glad to see that the county is changing their mindset a little bit on how to get that finished.
So they're going to get bonds for the first time ever.
Yeah, so they're coming off that pay-as-you-go.
Mm-hmm.
Pay-as-you-go is difficult because road projects cost multi-millions of dollars. And you can't get a lot done if you're only doing one road at a time and not really leveraging all the different resources, taking advantage of markets, you know, in order to get those things done. So, but
I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're in a better place. Parks and Rec are next, but I'm sure you guys will figure that out.
I'm sure we will too, especially since everyone knows that we're working on Torino Regional Park. And so the county has verbally committed $4 million to help us develop Torino Regional Park, which will be huge for us. And so that is another great opportunity for partnership there.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Good stuff. Glad. I know. I mean, 5 hours. I didn't watch all 5 hours. I'm going to be honest.
yeah. So, well, the other part of the meeting that was so important, which piggybacks right off the mobility, the interlocal, is we worked on phase 2 of our mobility plan. And so what that means is we're actually looking at the roads that need to be worked on and need to be either widened or to create multimodal facilities for either golf carts or bike paths, those larger multimodal paths that can help move people. Mobility has been an issue on all of our surveys for the last several years about how hard it is to get around and how we're so car-centric. And so we want to make sure that whatever we're doing in the future, we have several opportunities. And so it took us about an hour and a half, and where our staff and our consultant, Jonathan Paul, looked at other roads that we haven't worked on yet, like Kashmir, like Torino, like California, and also that do need capacity, but we could put those multimodal paths in with the mobility fee money because it's more flexible. And then also other areas where we don't need four-way stops anymore. We really need more roundabouts, whether you like them or not. The reality is that they move people, they move cars, and so we want to keep that flow going. And so there are several areas in the city that can use those roundabouts to help continue that movement. And so we can properly plug those in as well.
Yeah, I am a fan of the roundabout, but I am even more of a fan when people use them correctly, which is
Always a challenge.
such a challenge.
Yes.
I feel like we should just have constant like mobility, how to use videos playing in every city and county building.
Yes.
Throughout the area. First of all, don't stop. If you're in the circle, You never stop.
The single lane ones aren't bad. It's the double lane ones that really cause a lot of the confusion.
Yeah, but the double lane ones have arrows. Follow the arrows. They really, they drive me crazy.
I know.
You know, I've been like complaining, not about the roundabouts because I love them, but the way people use them.
Right.
You can't go in the outside lane and go all the way around if it's a 2.
Yeah.
You know, in Europe, you would have just been run over. You'd been run, like, to bump you off the road. But yes, so I do love a roundabout, but you know, if you're not sure, Google it.
Yeah, you can Google it. You can go on FDOT's website. We have it on our website as well.
You do? You have roundabout education?
Yeah, and we even put videos out periodically.
You did?
We
need
do.
to share those. We're going to be Facebooking those later.
Yeah, we
so.
do periodically put those out.
How to use the roundabout. Okay,
Use a
very
roundabout.
good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So everybody here knows, don't go all the way around the outside lane.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that drives me crazy. You're going to T-bone people.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to give you an idea how the mobility fees are going to help, so this year we estimate to receive about $16.6 million in mobility. And all that money can go towards these important projects for roads that we need to address.
And don't scare them, because when I attended a neighborhood meeting for a new development project, and when you say, oh, we're not going to give you a new lane, we're going to give you a golf cart lane, people freak out. So you got to be careful easing them into it, that it's going to be in places where it makes sense. It's not
Absolutely.
like every road gets a golf cart lane.
Yeah, and it's really a multimodal path, which means you can walk, you could bicycle,
Yeah.
or you could golf cart. If you have a 12-foot shared use path, then you can have, that's what the multimodal really means. But yes, so golf carts has come up again recently. I like to call them low-speed vehicles because they have to have the safety measures. So we are looking at those opportunities of where they could be.
Where they make sense.
Where they make sense, where they.
They don't make sense on US 1.
No, absolutely not. But if you want to go if you're in tradition and you want to go to Publix or
makes sense.
some of the other shopping areas, it makes sense. If you
Yep,
want to be
I would agree.
in St. Lucie West,
And you want to stay on either the north or south side? Sure.
and so St. Lucie West Boulevard is in the TPO's 2050 plan, but there's a possibility to advance that at some point. We're going to look at everything, look at every road that we're not working on. As you know, we have a lot of roads we're working on right now.
All the
You know,
roads.
it's a little painful. I know traffic's a little bit of a bear, but all these things that are happening now will benefit us all in the long run once they're complete. And since traffic is the biggest issue, this is how we're addressing our traffic needs.
Very good.
So,
All right, I know we're going to have questions about that, but do you want to move on to anything else you want to tell us before we go to
yeah,
questions?
also want to talk about quickly, we also talked about yesterday the capital improvement plan for the city. We approved it on a 5-year tentative basis, but we really approved 2022, 2023. So we're looking at all of the projects that are involved that go into the capital improvement plan. We have things working on for the port. As you know, we have the interest in a restaurateur, working on that. So we have several projects that will be what we're working on. The parks, huge projects that we're working on for Tradition, Torino, OL Peacock. We're upgrading some of the playgrounds in some of the parks that we have that have reached their useful life. So there are so many things that are happening. Our new PD training facility, our public works building, our new public works
new
building.
PD training facility? I'm
Yes.
not familiar with that one.
Okay, so I'll talk about that for a sec. So as you know, we have a very Excelsior accredited police department.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they did get dinged on in accreditation is that for a city of our size, we don't have our own training facility.
We share.
Right, and so with all the different surrounding agencies, it becomes harder and harder for our PD to get places to train. And a lot of times they have to go out to Okeechobee, which is an hour there, an hour back. So you're taking a lot of time out of the day for training, and you're not able to train as much because you have to rely on the other agencies. So we took that to heart, and knowing that the city is growing, we're going to be hiring more police officers. They need place to train. We really pride ourselves on our training. We want to make sure we keep that up. It's vitally important. So we are building our own PD training facility. It will be a training facility and a gun range, and it will be on the Port St. Lucie City Hall campus here, right next to the police department. And so they're in the process now of getting that going.
That's exciting, yeah, because they don't have a train. They share with the sheriff's department for shooting typically, and then,
They have to go to the college.
or, yeah,
Or they have to go out to Okeechobee.
Yep.
And, and so this will enable them to really do some things that they can come in, they could be on the street for a while. They can come in for a 45-minute training
yeah.
and go right back out on the street and go right back to work. We're modeling it after what they have in Palm Beach Gardens, and that's similar to what they do there. And it's great because it's in and out, you get your
Yeah.
training done, and then they can do more of it.
I like it.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
What else?
So, okay, so we're gonna talk trash for a minute.
Oh, gosh.
And I know no one wants to really hear it anymore.
I love to talk trash, but this is literal trash.
Right. But we have to,
I know.
because it is the biggest issue, really the only negative issue that's really going on right now. And so the reality is that we have to switch to a new provider as a result of the non-performance that has been occurring with regard to Waste Pro. So we are in that process now. I want to share with everyone what a monumental task this is. Typically, when we're going out for a new solid waste provider, we need 12 to 18 months in order to accomplish that. It is a huge, heavy lift, I think, just given the size of the city alone, and then bringing somebody new or 2 new providers on board. We're looking to go to 2. Hopefully, we can get there, but we'll see how things shake out once the bids are complete. So we're out to bid for now in that process. Like I said, we're looking at 2 providers. Typically, with regard to, there's been a lot of questions regarding the carts, because our solid waste task force has put forth some recommendations. And again, this goes back to change.
People hate change.
So everyone hates change. And for the longest time, well over a decade, we're used to unlimited service for bulk waste. We're used to unlimited, put everything in the world out anytime you want.
If it's at the curb, they take it.
Right. We're used to the twice-a-week pickup. But unfortunately, since we're in this situation now, with the size of our city, the growth of our city, and also knowing that the cost due to the economy and everything that is going on, being forced to have to get a new provider is going to be much more expensive. I mean, I just want to be open and honest. It's going to cost us more, unfortunately.
Your tax bill is going to represent a
yes.
huge increase for trash pickup.
So your assessment is definitely going to go up. And how we're trying to mitigate that is we had a solid waste task force to look at recommendations that they could give us. 9, or actually I think 7 out of the 11 all had solid waste experience on the task force. We also had a solid waste consultant on board. And so we are looking to go to once a week trash pickup with a 96-gallon cart. If you don't want a 96-gallon cart, if you can't handle a 96-gallon cart, you can get a 64-gallon cart if that is what is better for you and your family. We are looking to, your recycling is going to say once a week. Your yard waste is going to say once a week. However, the bulk, throwing everything out to the curb, is going to be limited to once a month, a designated day. And we have to do that because we're just too big of a city. And so we also compared ourselves against other cities in the state, and there are several others that go to once a week. That was the recommendation. I have asked, there's been a lot of concern about once a week, so I have asked the city manager that once the bids come in and we figure out who we're going to authorize the city manager to negotiate with, then to also get a cost for the twice a week, just because I think it's important to show all of our residents what the difference in cost is going to be, and then see if there's any other alternatives. But this is where we're headed to. And the other thing about the carts I want to mention is, so typically when a new provider comes on board, they buy the carts, they handle the carts, they roll the carts out.
Right.
But because of this unusual situation that we're in this short 6-month time period, we have to get a new provider. And the carts, you have to order the carts. They're not readily available somewhere where they could just drop them off the next day.
Nothing's readily available right now.
Right, nothing. So we're getting them, I believe, out of Georgia.
Okay.
We piggybacked off the Fort Lauderdale contract, which is the lowest price that we could get. So we had to buy the carts and get them rolled out by the person or the entity that we're getting the carts from, and they're going to deliver them to the homes. So that's why there's a difference between what's normally done
And what's being done.
Yes.
So let me unravel some questions, first of all. So you said 64 and 90?
6 gallon.
96. So what, everybody has a recycling bin? 'Cause
Yes.
right now, we're all in charge of our own trash
Right.
cans, right? Or we just throw
Yes.
trash at the curb?
Yes.
We're gonna have to cart that. We're gonna have to put that in a bin.
Yeah, so it's going to look just like your recycling cart.
And the recycling is the 96 or the 64?
We have both in the city. Some people have 96, some people have 64.
Oh.
I have a 96. Some
'Cause I'm
gated.
trying to get perspective, but I don't know
So
what
right
size.
outside the doors here
Okay.
is a 96-gallon cart and a 64-gallon cart.
And I missed him this morning.
Yeah, you probably walk right by them.
I more than likely did.
They're big black cans.
I'm right by him.
So,
Okay, good. So you can come and look at them,
You
because I
can
think
come and
that's,
look at them.
people need perspective, like what is that size?
Yes.
And right now, we're providing our own cart, but we're going to an automated side loader is what I'm
yes,
guessing.
and it's automated service now, just
Yeah.
like our recycling.
Which means
Yeah.
if it's not in the can, it doesn't get picked up.
Right, and that's why we are getting the 96-gallon.
Yeah.
And now, if that is not enough for you, and you have a much larger family, and you need another one, you can get another one. It's optional. They'll be available to purchase those.
At your cost, though, yeah.
They're about $54.
That's it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, very good. And then, so everything will have to go in the bin. You can't have, except for once a month, you'll do bulk, right?
Yes, and everyone, depending on where you live, will have a designated bulk pickup day.
Yeah, because you can't get everything, and it's
And it'll be
awkward.
limited to 5 pieces at a time.
Okay, very good.
As of what the recommendations are right now.
In full disclosure, we're going to have some growing pains on the way to this.
Yes, we have growing pains now, so as several of
As
you.
the crowd laughs.
As many people realize, so they stopped collecting yard waste in January. We hired another company, Optimum Service, to pick up the yard waste. They did a full sweep of the city. They're about 98% done. They're going to start a new sweep of the city starting on Monday. But now we have problems with regard to recycling and trash because they are not being picked up on time. Recycling is running 2 to 3 days behind, and trash is running a day or two behind, unfortunately. And that is because they continue to have turnover issues and employee issues within their company, unfortunately. So we're going to continue to have these pains probably until the wind down of their contract in September, like I said, unfortunately. But everyone, and I know it's frustrating. I know it's stressful. I think in the 12 years I've been on council, this has probably been the most frustrating issue because we don't have direct control over it.
Yeah. It's not any one individual's fault, so nobody should be taking it out on one individual. I mean, this is, and frankly, it's a national problem. And when Walmart has to pay you $100,000 to drive their trucks, what does that tell you? There's a shortage of truck drivers. Yeah. And you have to have a CDL to drive those trash trucks. So, listen, this is a national crisis. It's not a Mayor Martin crisis.
No, but I mean, it is a national crisis, but it's also really, I need to be honest, and it has to do more with one company, Waste Pro, than it does with other companies, because this is not just happening here in Port St. Lucie as far as their service. There are several other cities and counties that are in the same position with them and have actually in lawsuits with them.
Yeah.
I think they had opportunity.
With the other providers too, because they're all kind of, shorthanded and not living up to their service contract. So some of the other providers are going through the same thing.
Yeah, they may be, but
Yeah.
the ones that I know about are the ones that are actually involved with
okay.
Waste Pro. Yeah. But, like I said, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is one. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get through. And then when we get the new provider, it's going to take some time as well, because they're going to have to really learn the city. But we have to really go to the automated side load. They're all going to it now. That's the technology. It's less reliant, whether we like it or not, it's less reliant on manual labor. But the reality is, it's a hard job. It's hot here.
And it's stinky.
It's stinky. A lot of people don't want to do that. It's a really hard job. And when you can go to work for Amazon or FedEx, making almost the same amount of money, or maybe even a couple dollars more, I can't blame anyone. I don't think anyone could blame anyone for choosing that versus being on a garbage truck. So,
So be nice to your garbage men too.
Yes, yes. And you know what? The team on the ground, everyone on the ground, they do the very best they can. The ones that are there that are working hard every day. So again, it doesn't have anything to do with them whatsoever. They are trying their very, very best. It's just
The workers here locally
yes,
are
the
trying
workers
so
here
hard.
are really are. The management team locally,
Yeah.
they're trying their very, very best. It's just
Everybody, they're in an
it's-
unfortunate
it's
situation.
their situation, right? So
Very
we're
good.
gonna get through it. It's just gonna be a little bit more painful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good. All right, so we talked trash.
Yep.
Anything else before questions?
Oh no, let's go to questions.
Okay, what's our first question? When will the new impact fee schedule be available?
So from the mobility fee side, I think it pretty much, we already have ours available. I don't know if the county has formally adopted theirs yet or not.
No, they need to go to second reading, but it is out there, the draft is out there. It has gone to an informal meeting. It does have to go to second meeting, so it is not formalized. Did you see that last question? Avi said, can you read that? But then did you see how small that one was? And I was like, no, there's no way I could read that. Now I can, Avi.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's good that the font is bigger, especially
Yes, yes.
having trouble.
Neither one of us are getting younger
No.
that I can think of, but I do have pretty good distance. But this is a long question, so give me 2 minutes. Good morning. Pleasantries, that's always nice. Thanks for taking care of our bus stop in Sand Hill Crossing. I appreciate it. Looks much better. Question, I have a 96-gallon bin I purchased last year. It matches what we are required to buy. Is there a way to opt out of the provided bin for trash? It's identical but stronger.
I will have to get
That's
with
a good
neighborhood
question.
services and see what the possibility is there.
Yeah, that's a good question. I have a great bin too now. I mean, I have a bin and I don't want to throw it out.
But does it look like the recycling bin with the closed lid that
Yes.
you pick up?
Yeah, it's the exact same.
Also,
The wheelie.
I want to mention that if your existing trash bins that you have, you can use them for yard waste
Okay,
if you so choose.
okay,
I'm
very
not telling
good.
you have to do it, but if you want to keep what you have and you want to use it for yard waste, you can do so.
Not for nothing though, I saw the automated side loader use it the other day and they about squeezed it dumb. So I'm not sure it's gonna be in any good shape when we get there. So it's okay, we'll figure it out then.
And the
I was
new
like, we're gonna
carts-
pop that lid right off that thing and it flips off.
And the new carts have a 10-year warranty.
Yeah.
So if anything happens to the new cart, you get another one. We'll give you
Yeah.
give you another cart.
That was my recycling bin, which I didn't pay for though, so I wasn't that mad about it, but.
Well, so you did. We all did.
Yeah, we did. Just like impact fees, we're all paying those too.
You know,
Yeah,
you did pay for it. It's
did.
built into your solid waste fee. So it's different because
but you're absolutely right. I totally misspoke. There's nothing for free. We paid for all of it.
it's just like, it's just like your cable box.
Yeah,
So,
it's all built into the cost, people. You paid for it.
Yeah.
Same with impact fees, because I hear that discussion all the time. Why aren't the developers more mad? Because the developers aren't paying for it. The end consumer who buys the house, who rents the office,
at the
they're
end of the
paying
day,
for
it is the end user who
Always.
pays for
which
it.
which is all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, you're right. It wasn't free. We paid for it. Okay. Is that all the questions online, Avi? Wow.
Wow, I'm surprised.
I know we talked trash and everything, and we didn't even get a trash question.
I know, which I'm surprised.
Okay, well now we do. John Pancras from Elite Electric has been our volunteer mic holder today, and he is going to come around. Elite Electric Air and Plumbing, if I'm not mistaken, right, John?
They're awesome.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Mayor.
Morning.
Question, is there a possibility of a local drop-off for garbage to maybe trash to help alleviate some of the problem in the neighborhood?
We have a local drop-off at our Cameo and Crosstown site where you could bring yard waste or bulk waste that you have if you don't want to wait for it to be collected. Yes, and that is on our website as well. It's right on Crosstown and Cameo.
Right on Crosstown, but that's yard waste.
Yard waste and bulk waste.
Okay, and bulk waste, so
Right.
big furniture items and
Right.
things like that.
Right.
So yard waste and big, but not like your household trash.
No, the household trash needs to be picked up by the provider.
Yeah, because that's food and,
Yes.
so that has to be picked up by the provider. So you're good? You don't have a question now? Okay, John's going to take that back. Who else in our audience? Very good. Right beside you over here.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Jackie. We're all with Coca-Cola Florida. We contribute to the recycling, and as from a standpoint of sustainability, I was curious what the city is doing that in that regard. I mean, we have a great rain bale program. I think it's important to note that residents are also, we do have a little bit of control over the trash. You know, we should take some responsibility on our own, but from the city, I was just curious what you guys are doing.
So the county has a single stream recycling facility, and we partner with the county because they paid for and built that facility. Went to single stream several years ago. The county currently pays us $1.2 million a year for our recycling program. So basically, it gets collected, goes up to the county facility, and then they take it and whatever they can sell for commodities, they do. There's a market for cardboard. There's some market for metal products. The market isn't very strong for plastic containers. We used to sell them to China. China no longer takes them. So the market really isn't hot for a lot of materials.
It's funny, I had family in this weekend, and they said, and we do leadership, and we go to single stream every year, and you know me,
Yep.
I go through leadership every year, so what Eva and I have been told, you know?
Right.
And I said, yeah, the market for recyclables is not great right now, and that is a struggle.
Yes.
And so, you know, there used to be a time where they were a hot commodity and people were scrambling to get those. It's not happening as much. Lids for soda bottles and water bottles are not recyclable, but they had the Buddy Bench for a while, but even they got inundated with recyclables. So I'll make a call, a push to anybody that can use recyclables for art or something locally. Let's try to make that happen because there's not much being used in that vein, unfortunately, because the market is inundated. So we're gonna, you know, you drink that water bottle, and I might be guilty of it too, and you think, oh, but I'm recycling it. Well, guess what? You're probably not. And that's unfortunate. So you still want to try to use reusable containers. And the other thing that we learn every year at Leadership, and I'll share with everybody, is that if your paper is contaminated, paper is the #1 contaminated recycling usage. So your pizza box with any grease on it at all is rejected.
Right.
So you've got to be very careful about what you're using.
And your mayonnaise jar.
Your mayonnaise jar needs
Not
to be
cleaned
rinsed. Yeah, your bottles have to be rinsed. When I told my family, I didn't want to tell them that because they were like, you know, and I'm like, you got to rinse your stuff. And I thought they're going to shoot the messenger here, but you can't have. They don't want any kind of food products in it, and they will reject it.
Yeah. So before the market changed, the amount that the city received fluctuated on a monthly basis. But once the market changed, the commodities market changed, then we just ended up with, when we renegotiated the contract, it ended up being a flat amount for the year.
Metals are always good, but you know we don't have as many of those that we're recycling. We're recycling plastic and paper, and so
Those Amazon boxes definitely
those Amazon boxes,
they're worth it.
Those are
clean.
recyclable. They're pretty clean unless you've had an incident, so those are good. Pizza boxes are I think the bane of existence of the people on the line, because the line, it's very neat. If you've never seen it, there's a video on stlucieco.gov. They have their recycling video up. But the machine kind of weighs things and blows things and puts things where they need to go. But then there's some poor guy on there picking out your greasy pizza box every day.
Right.
So that's his job. All right, what do we got? I have a large, wide format printer, 8 feet wide. I need to dispose of it. Can you drop that off at the bulk waste center?
I believe so.
Okay, there you go.
I believe so.
All right. With the trash pickup being an issue, are we looking into ensuring we will not have problems during hurricane season for our vegetation debris pickup? Yeah, that's always an issue.
So I mentioned we have Optimum Services as our temporary yard waste hauler and bulk waste assistance hauler. Right now, we are going to continue to use them. I spoke with our solid waste assistant director of neighborhood services yesterday, and he said we're going to continue to use them on a rolling basis as needed. Now, if there is a hurricane, and we always put out information once hurricane season starts, we put out information about, you know, clipping vegetation and being mindful of storms that are coming. Unfortunately, when we tell people to don't cut your bushes and trees down, people do the exact opposite and start
Yes.
putting out more.
Yes.
So,
I was just gonna say that.
So that's
Start
really not what
now.
yeah, so I would say that if you have a lot to clip, please do it now. And then if they're in the event of a storm, and if there is one, then we go into a whole nother mode. Because
Yeah,
then
we
it's an
do.
emergency mode, then we have FEMA involved, then it becomes a whole nother issue with regard to the collection of debris after a storm. So that's a little bit different, but yes, we are going to continue to keep Optimum on board until we can get the new provider in place.
So I want to, make a PSA. Clip your trees now. Don't wait till we have a named storm when everybody runs out and clips their trees. Do it now. And you know what? You're going to have a better chance of getting that picked up in a timely manner if you do it now, if we're all doing it as we go. And don't wait till we have a named storm, because that's when everybody runs out and clips down all their trees.
Well, not only that, they clip their trees, then they throw out their bulk waste items on top of that.
Yeah.
And it really does become a huge problem.
Yeah.
And then neighborhood services has to go out and address it. And so we just
And
ask.
if they can't get it, you're just creating projectiles.
Right, so we just always ask that if we're getting into that season, just to be really mindful of and
It's
especially if there's a name.
April, May, do it now. We actually did ours last month because I told my husband it may not get picked up for a while. It may, we don't want to wait till a hurricane's coming to trip especially this year.
Right.
So get out there and do it.
So tree overgrowth from abandoned lots. So lots are owned by private property owners. They are responsible for cutting the trees back. They have to be cut back 10 feet from the swale line. So if they are overgrowing and you're having trouble reaching out to the property owner, our office can assist with that. We do send a letter out to the property owner if your neighbor isn't being neighborly, and we will send a letter out. And if several times they don't do it, and they refuse to do it, whoever the property owner is, then neighborhood services will go in and make a determination on whether the city should cut it back, and then we will lien the property owner for not cutting, for the cost of cutting it back.
So the question was, who's responsible for growth on abandoned lots? But we really don't have abandoned lots. Somebody probably owns that lot.
They're not abandoned, right?
No, and
They're
so
owned.
but there is a process. Right now, I would say none of them are abandoned.
No, they're all owned by someone or some entity.
Yes.
And they are responsible for the overgrowth.
Yeah, they're selling like hotcakes.
They are.
The next question is, do I call the city to clear trees from power lines?
No, you call FP&L. If you have trouble with FP&L, which most of the time FP&L is really, really good about that.
They are.
If you have trouble, then you can call my office at 871-5159. We will reach out to our liaison at FP&L, and we will get assistance that way.
Yeah, that's a whole different department for FP&L, but they're usually pretty good. They only trim what's touching the lines. They're not going to, they're not going to make you prune your tree for you.
No.
But they will trim what's touching the lines and get that off. And they're usually pretty responsive.
They are, usually, yes.
But also, people often confuse power lines with every other type of line that we have. Telephone, internet, and if they get out there and it's not the power line, you're on your own. But unfortunately, it's hard for us to tell. Like, I'm not an expert. They all look like power lines to me. I have no idea, but they won't touch it if it's not a power line. Very good. We got another question.
Good morning, Mayor. Just a quick question. Is there any more discussions on the Wave Garden facility that's going
So
on?
that's Fort Pierce.
That's the city of Fort Pierce, but I can tell you that it has gone through site plan and everything is rocking and rolling on that one, and I am feeling confident. The project manager is feeling very confident that will be breaking ground soon, hopefully. That project is definitely, getting through the process and moving down the line. Right. So I think that everybody is incredibly hopeful that that'll be coming out of the ground. Yep. But that was annexed into the city. That's a city project, City of Fort Pierce project on Midway.
Gotcha. My question relates to that. I was actually trying to find out who I would speak with about that project, maybe doing something in cooperation with them. And also with the huge influx of people that we have coming into our city, entertainment. Is there anything that we have, like our companies, businesses like mine, can work with the city to try to help facilitate a larger group of people who want to be entertained and want something different, or what we have to do so that everybody's not running to Orlando to go get their entertainment.
Yeah, so with our Mid-Florida Event Center, Linda McCarthy has really stepped it up. We have, we know that from our citizen surveys that residents want more entertainment and want more things to do. So we're trying from a government standpoint to provide what we can. So we had our I Love Lucie concert series just this weekend, which I was gonna mention at the tail end, but I'm just gonna mention it now. We have our first ever ZAM Fest. And so we're gonna have Diamond Rio. We're going to have Tone Loc and Tag Team, and I am so excited about Tone Loc and Tag Team. I can't even tell you.
All right, Tone Loc has 2 songs. Tag Team has like 1.
Doesn't matter. They're iconic. They are amazing songs, and so it's a free.
Okay,
It is
now you're
absolutely
speaking my
100%
language.
free. So the festivals that we have, and we've also challenged our team to start changing some of our programming and coming up with different types of special events. So I can definitely get you in contact with Linda, get you in contact with Parks and Rec to partner and to work on some of the things that we have coming up.
And no disrespect to Tone Loc, because I am a huge fan.
I love them.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I listened to growing up. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to see them again.
They are not getting any younger either, so you might as well go now.
They're still cool to me.
They're definitely
I'm going to see the
cool.
Backstreet Boys. Come on.
Oh, in sync forever.
So listen, NSYNC is my number 1, but they're not together anymore. So I got to go to my number
No.
2, which is Backstreet.
It's Backstreet. So my number 1 is New Edition. That's how old I am.
Yeah, well, I love New Edition too.
I love New Edition.
Boys to Men.
Yeah, I was jamming to New Edition on the way here today.
Were you?
Bobby Brown can't dance anymore. He doesn't have the stamina. So no Bobby, no New Edition, which stinks. But yes, we got Belle Biv DeVoe, which I'm totally fine with that.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the Wave Garden. So that is a international company, and they're very specialized. So at this point, they don't really have a ground marketing team. They have their project lead and attorneys, and they don't really have they're not ready for all that. And it's gonna be done in phases, so stay tuned. But it's definitely on the works. But every time the press calls me about it, I have to call their attorney because they don't have a marketing team. Typically they have a marketing team, but this group does not.
Too early yet.
Yeah, they're not quite ready, but they
gotta
will.
get it to the site developed and stuff probably first.
We almost forgot his question because we got sidetracked by, New Edition and Tone Loc, but we got there.
Who doesn't love music?
I know it.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank
morning.
you, Mayor Martin, for your time today. My name is Christina Wick. I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization called Sustainable Hive Mind. We raise awareness on how smart technology can maximize environmental efforts. So I do have one question right now in regards to waste management. You mentioned that you're going to be getting some prices on doing pickup twice a week. So I have a suggestion or a question. Have we considered a compost program at all? Because that would reduce having to have pickup twice a week and would potentially be able to create fertilizer or minerals that can go back into the ground, reducing our need to purchase those items as well.
Like a citywide compost program? We have not.
What does that smell like?
I don't know. But I don't know how that would go over, but we have not contemplated that.
I do encourage it, individually.
Individually,
For
sure.
Sure. We do it at the office, and because we have a lot of wildlife there. But I do encourage it individually, and I think that that's a real possibility, because the reality is I told my husband, if we're only going to once a week, we got to get a garbage disposal, which is not really popular in the South, but up north, everybody has garbage disposals, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But I think individually, that is something that you should be doing. And once you do it, if you're not a gardener like I'm not, I can hook you up with some community gardens for the fertilizer if people want to do that, for sure. But there's lots of ways. Also, we need to talk about, I'll talk to some experts on it, because I'm not all sure what you can do with compost, but it's definitely something good to do individually.
And I think a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, there was something that the county was potentially working on, or there was a group coming in that wanted to put a facility somewhere in the county, and it did not go over well at all.
Well, it doesn't smell great.
With the residents, and As a result, it got turned down.
It got turned down. That's a shame. But yeah, because you don't really want to feed the wildlife, so you can't just throw it. You know, you can't. Where I live, I have alligators and bobcats. I'm not feeding those. You know. But I think it's a good idea to do it individually and try to
Individually, you
find
wanna
some
do it.
way to share that communally. So yeah, maybe I'll look into that and let you know. Maybe next month we'll talk about that more. But thanks for the question. It's a great idea. It's always a good thing.
If you want to do it, sure.
Yeah, I know.
Personally, I wouldn't do it, but I don't have time. But
Well, I think I'm getting a garbage disposal. So yeah. Yeah. We eat a lot of chicken.
I do too.
Yeah. All right, any other questions? Wow. There's a lot of great questions though today. Good questions online, but we really covered a lot of stuff.
We did.
A lot of stuff, so very good. Oh, John has a question. Our mic man has a question.
Not a question, just a statement. A little more trash.
Okay.
2 weeks from now, there's a citywide cleanup.
Yes.
30th.
Keep Port St. Lucie's Beautiful is doing a citywide cleanup. Very good. And you can volunteer for that at
Absolutely.
Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful, keeppslbeautiful.com, Avi? I don't remember. Georgette's. Okay. cityofpsl.com/keeppsl beautiful. I was going to say Georgette's going to kill me.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. We got it. Thank you.
We'll probably be posting more about it on Facebook too, I'm assuming.
Usually
They roll it out several
She's very good about that. She has a
Yes.
lot on all things Treasure Cove. She's done some email blasts about it through the chamber. So yes, the citywide cleanup is coming. Make sure you're a part of it.
We have Earth Day coming up this weekend at the Oxbow.
Yep.
It'll be a great event. I'm going to do like a 20 or 30-minute hike with some students.
They've got a lot planned. They want you to park at Calvary, if I'm not mistaken, and they're going to bus you over.
Yes.
Yep, on St. James there. Very
It'll
good.
be exciting.
Great stuff today. Was my purse on the show the whole entire time today? No. Oh, good. I forgot to put it anywhere. I just threw it down on a table and walked up here. Well, thank you to all of you, and of course to Mid-Florida Credit Union. Oh, and I forgot. Thank you, Nash. I appreciate that. If you come on down to the show, you can go home with your very own
This is awesome.
Mid-Florida Credit Union. And let me tell you why this is awesome. It's better than a regular mug. It's lightweight, but it's the bigger one.
It is.
And so you can do soup in it and huge cappuccinos, which is what I typically do. But these are free to all our audience members. Make sure you take one off the table in the back before you leave.
This is going in my camper. This is a perfect
It is a
camping
perfect
coffee
campy.
mug.
They're very nice. I love them. So everybody gets one today. Congratulations. Thank you, Mid-Florida, for bringing those, and we're very happy. And thank you to the mayor, as always, and Gus and Avi and everybody here at the City of Port St. Lucie. And don't forget, you can join us. Come on down. It's the third Tuesday of the month. It starts at 8:30. It's free, open to the public, coffee, Danish, and now, as long as they last, Mid-Florida coffee mugs. Have a great day, everybody.